All right, good morning, everybody. I'm told by the clock on the pew back here, Angie, that it is 8:12, so we can start the huddle. So welcome, everybody. Is everybody awake?
Yeah.
Is everybody awake this morning?
Yeah.
So anyway, we are doing game show today. This is the first game show we have done in a long time, and I'm kind of keeping it small. I'm kind of keeping it mellow and moderate because where's Justin? I saw him come in because Justin used to be the master of game shows here, and I've got some big shoes to fill if we're going to keep doing these game shows because he had fireworks and lasers and all kinds of high tech stuff. Assistants. See how that's going.
That's the real magic.
So I think we are in pretty good shape here, but I've been told, anybody here ever watch the show The Office? How many people remember Dwight Schrute?
Of course.
And what did he always sell? What was his kind of side gig selling? Beats. He sold beats, remember? And his motto was, you know, to properly market beats, you have to have them properly displayed and in the right place. And so I have been told that you all need to slide into the middle so that everybody can see you on TV. So, because remember that we are doing this both live and in person. So, don't you know you're being broadcast and you can come back later and watch yourself on YouTube. So be careful, you know, be careful what you're doing out there because you are being captured. Big Brother is watching. So we are going to do a game show today, and this is something I just kind of made up. I did this once upon a time back in a past life, but I can't remember when. But the game is called Question. And essentially, one of the purposes of these game shows, the main purpose, I think, is to kind of keep the message of the great game of government moving down the road a little bit and to kind of see how you all have been paying attention. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces out there, so hopefully you've paid attention to what we have talked about these last 5 or 6 weeks since the huddle has resumed. And the second part is to get to know a little bit about each of you all. I will be honest, there are faces out there. I see you every week, and I don't know what your names are. Isn't that terrible? So we're going to figure out some names and that kind of stuff today. And I have prizes.
We love prizes.
A lot of prizes.
Oh,
It's a lot of donuts. And being one of those people who go to these kinds of things regularly, where there's drawings or raffles and stuff like that, and I never win anything, everybody wins today, okay? But those of you who answer questions correctly will get your choice first of the St. George's donuts here. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question, and then the first person who raises their hand will answer it. And if they get it right, they will get to come and claim a donut. The second thing they will get to do is they will get to point out who gets to answer the second question.
Oh. That's not fair.
And the second question may be a bit odder than the first question. And then the person who answers the second question gets to pick a donut. And then you get to pick out who gets to answer the next question. That question may be more related to the great game of business, and so on and so forth. Okay, so shall we see how this works? All right. Question number 1. Who wrote the great game of business? I saw Jill's hand go up first. Jack Stack, that is correct. All right, you come and pick a donut.
How many are here?
There's a lot of donuts there. I felt bad for the ladies. They looked so I got all kinds of.
Oh my goodness.
If we get it wrong, do we get like half a donut or do we get?
I have got some sauteed Brussels sprouts back there. So I could give it beets. I've got beets, yes. Okay, she only touched one of them, I promise you.
Yeah.
All right, so now you get to pick out who I ask the next question to.
How about Chad? Great choice.
All right, Chad, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and where you work. So that was Jill, and she works at the juvenile office. So,
I'm Chad Jurgensmeyer, work for IS.
okay.
All
All right, Chad, your question is, if you could transform into any animal, what would it be? I know.
Probably a line,
Okay, and why?
because it's Gryffindor.
So we found out that he works for IT and likes Harry Potter. See how it's going here? All right, pick a donut.
I'm going to defer my donut.
Okay, but then you pick a
I'm
person. And if you don't know their names, you can just say the one with the horn sticking out of their head or whatever it's descriptive.
Andrea.
Hey, Andrea, stand up, introduce yourself, tell us who you are and where you work.
I'm Andrea Stewart. I work at the Sheriff's Office.
Okay. Here's your question. This is a more serious one. What is the purpose of doing a mini game? You still get a donut, by the way, if I don't get it right. But does anybody remember what the purpose of a mini game is? Yes, ma'am.
To make small goals, to make progress in the office, to change one small thing.
Right, to create early wins. Correct. So you get a donut. You get a donut. You might want to pick the person who helped you out if you want.
I get my donut. Do you get a donut?
She gets a donut.
What is your donut?
I'll wait for your question.
I want a question like Chad.
Okay, introduce yourself and where do you work? Okay. Oh, I got to ask you a question. Right? Yeah. All right. What was your favorite television show as a child? See, I couldn't answer that question because TV.
There are way too many. Let's just go Donnie and Marie. Right show.
Okay, and why Donnie and Marie?
Because they're way gorgeous and cool.
Okay. You come get your donuts now. Andrea, you come get your donuts.
Yeah, you
Saw them on the same building in Vegas.
I hope it's picture as opposed to them. Okay. All right, well, they're grabbing their donuts.
Oh my gosh, there's a God in heaven.
All right, and you get to pick out the next person who answers a question. Hey.
Question one, no pressure.
You want me to ask her a fun one, or do you want me to ask her a great game? Malin? Yeah, introduce yourself. Who are you? All right, let's see. Which one of these could we give you? How about what song best describes you?
That's a great question for my staff. Is it on our HR list? I don't know. That's hard.
Did you just mouth that Elton John song?
No.
Oh, okay. Don't you guys remember that certain Elton John? Never mind. I'll tell you.
We have it. She's talking about, we have a HR playlist. We put motivating songs on them. That's what
Okay.
Andy's referring to. Can I just pick one of those?
If it's a song that best describes you,
My Elton John's on there.
still standing?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good one.
Okay.
Do you remember the other Elton John? I'll tell you later. Anyway, so yes, you win. You win. So you just pick a donut.
Before she gets her.
Okay. So I get to choose who goes next.
You get to choose who goes next.
How about, well, Justin?
Oh, no pressure.
Okay, Justin.
From the
Look at your
treasurer's
donut.
office.
That's Justin. That's right. And let's see. We got to do a couple of these things. How about this one? Which of the following, this is multiple choice, so you're bound to get one of these right. Which of the following is not one of the 10 steps of implementation.
Of implementation.
Of implementation. You've been here, okay?
It's not.
Is not. If you get this wrong, you will not get a donut. A is begin with the right leadership. How's that sound? Does that sound right? Okay. B is share the why before the how.
Sharing is good. So I like that step.
And C is open the books and teach the numbers.
Teaching the numbers is part of the great game.
Okay. D is don't keep penguins in the laundry room.
That's a good principle.
It's saved me well throughout my life.
But I don't remember it in the book, so I'm gonna say D is not.
He got it right. Give him a big hand.
And I'm gonna pick as the next one. I'm not familiar with you, and what's your name? No, don't look behind you. All right, I'm gonna pick you. I'm gonna pick Deb.
Okay, Deb.
My new best friend, Deb.
What superpower would you choose to have and why? Telepathy.
Here.
What would you use that superpower for?
I know what we're gonna.
Okay, you win a donut. Come get a donut. All right. So you get to pick the next person who gets to answer a question.
I got told.
I'm Leroy, I'm with the highway department.
Okay, does Leroy get a serious question or a silly question?
Get any of them, is that?
Yeah, but you know the silly questions, you can just make them up as you go.
It sounds good.
All right, we'll give you one of those things. If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Peanut butter. I like peanut butter.
Okay. Well, come up here and get a peanut butter donut.
I'll pick
All right, identify and,
It's picking me because I also work
Does he get a donut?
yes, he gets a donut. But
Donut.
I'm okay.
at. My name is Carla Nay, and I'm fairly new at the island. Just started last April.
Hi, Carl.
Some of you might know. So someone I don't know.
You got to do your guys.
you got to answer a question.
That was really smooth.
Yeah, I know. I was going to let you. You'll have to eat 2 donuts for that. We'll get back to a serious one. Hopefully you'll get this right. Which of the following is not considered a good characteristic of leadership? Okay. Humility. How's that sound to you? Okay. Servant leadership. How does that sound to you? Courageous. That's C. And D is being an egotist.
I don't like that egotist.
That is correct. She got it right. Give her a hand. Boy, you guys in there.
Me? Okay.
All right.
I'm Kimmy. I'm from Resources.
Okay. If there was one employee in the county you could immediately fire, who would it be? No.
We talked about this yesterday.
Oh, I guess. How about this one? If you were stranded on an island, what 3 things would you bring with you and why?
Can they be people?
Can they be people? Could be anything.
3 things.
3 things.
I always imply thing to be an inanimate object or maybe a critter or something like
Oh,
that.
okay. My husband's from the star. I would bring something to make fire. I would bring a boat to get off the island. No, this is how.
That's like getting a genie and wishing for a million wishes.
I would bring something to filter water with and a blanket so I don't get cold.
So you'll have clean water, fire, and a blanket. What do you do for the millions of hours of monotony that you gotta?
It's fine.
She thought to herself.
I can sing to myself. I can play in the sand. Yeah.
All right, you get to donut and you get to pick the next person who answers the question.
I'm okay. Christian.
Oh. Yeah, we heard from 2 weeks ago, right? So identify and where do you work?
My name's Christian. I'm with the assessor's office. I've also been here since April.
So this next question, I'm really reluctant to give to you because I was incorporating the assessor's presentation. So let's see if you can get this. Let's see if you can get this right. When must you submit your personal property assessment list to avoid having to pay a penalty?
I believe it's May 1st.
March 1st.
Why does the house? Why does the house?
So remember, if you're late, send it to Christian. And you'll be...
I will take.
Oh my God, look at all these selections.
That's right. Now you get to pick. Bob, okay. Identify yourself and who do you work for by chance?
Bob Dixon, I work at the commission office.
Okay. Let's see. Just don't know where.
I'll take it easy.
How about this one? Who would win in a fight between a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Oh, geez.
A horse-sized duck.
A horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized
Horse
horses.
100.
And why do you pick the 100 duck-sized
There's
horses?
more up.
Make it overwhelm. That's correct. All right. So, all right. You get a donut. You get to pick the next.
One horse.
All right, I'm gonna go with Cindy and I'll pass on the donut for now.
Okay. Yes, everybody. All right. Cindy.
I'm Cindy Stein. I work with the auditor's office.
Okay. Let's see here.
He's trying to find a hard one for you.
Cindy knows everything. So Christian can help you with this one and maybe confirm it. So how about this? Within $5 million, what is the total assessed value of real estate in Greene County as of 2018? And I got 2018 because that's the most recent your page has been updated.
I have no idea, Kristen.
As of, $5 million total assessed value of Greene. I think we talked about this last week or when you presented, didn't we? I know we talked about parcel numbers and stuff like that.
Our parcel count is about
125 about for the parcel count, but I don't know what the.
but for the.
It
assessed
says
value,
value, I thought
think
was
it's
in
like
the building.
1.2.
Yeah, so we'll give it to you because you got the parcel count because again, this was as of 2018, 118,000 and it's up to what, about 120 some thousand now. So the total assessed value of real estate in Greene County as of 2018 anyway was $4,017,888,000.80.
Yeah, I knew it was in the building. I'm gonna forego the donut and I'm gonna pick Rhonda.
That's from the treasurer's office.
Okay.
She's the shy one. Stand up.
If you were a color, what would it be?
Why?
And why?
Red has energy and I'm pretty calm mostly and shy, but I need energy and that's my mood.
Okay. That's why you got orange on today. Okay. All right, you get to pick the next donut and the next person to answer a question.
I'm Megan, I'm from the commission office.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you that one because you know that. Well, it's easy. First, from the commission office. If you had a time machine, what period in time would you travel to and why?
I would, it's easy. I would go back to the 1920s. Help move that movement.
But you'd want to change history, right?
I don't want to change it.
Oh, okay.
Move things along.
Okay.
Faster.
All right. You get a donut and you get to pick who the next person's going to be.
Pick John.
I assume so.
John.
I'm John with the commission office.
All right. Oh, let's see here. If you had one wish, and the answer to this question is not, you can't wish for a million more wishes, but if you had one wish, what would you wish for?
Ooh. One
So,
wish.
like,
The pageant girls.
That's a pretty good one. Probably good health for everyone.
Okay. Big pharma and hospitals probably wouldn't like that too much. But, all these unintended consequences from wishes. So, okay. All right. You get to pick the next person.
I was trying to look away from you. Sorry.
All right, Kylie.
I'm Kylie Young, I'm the court administrator.
All right. Other than your present position, what is your dream job? I know we're all living the dream right now, but what is your dream job?
Travel.
Like a travel agent? Yes, as I have kind of journeyed down the YouTube rabbit holes, I have found out that you can make a living going to Disneyland. I mean, I'm thinking, how did I not figure this one out, years and years and years ago? So, okay, you get a donut and you get to pick the next person.
I'll defer the donut for right now. And Angie. Angie from the auditor's office.
Okay, let's see here. Good one. If you could write a book, what would that book be about and why?
I think I'm going to piggyback on what John said about being healthy, alternative health ways of living, alternative to medicine. There's a lot of different cool stuff out there that people used to live by, that they didn't have that back in the 1800s, 1900s. And now all of this medicine makes us sick. And I'd like to get back to a more natural state.
I think everybody would buy that book. That sounds like a pretty good one.
You guys start writing.
Yeah.
All right, you get to pick the next person who gets a question.
Yeah.
Robert's over there trying to hide in his phone. Yeah.
For this. Trying to word it correctly. Yeah, go ahead. I'm Robert. I do PR for.
All right. Your question is, what is the scariest thing you've ever done for fun?
Jumping out of a plane in the military was pretty scary. So, but I technically was for fun, I guess. Get volunteer. So, but yeah, that for sure. I was the first person in the chalk and looking out the door is scary. Besides,
And that was fun?
yeah, well, that was fun when you're landing.
Yeah, that first step can be a doozy. Okay, we'll do one more because I think we're kind of running out of time. So you get to pick the final person who gets to answer the question.
Okay. John, you get it. Again? Oh, did you already go?
We already-
Who was it? I missed, I was on a phone call. Rachel. Rachel, there you go. I heard that.
Go, Rachel.
He'll just throw it as a bus.
I'm Rachel and I'm in HR.
Okay, let's see. How about this one? What is the best piece of advice you have ever been given?
Not to do a restoration on a house that's 124 years old. Knock it down and start from scratch.
Oh, Rachel.
Did you follow that advice?
No.
Okay, well, I think we are about out of time actually. So anyway, that's just kind of a fun way to learn a little bit about the great game and learn a little bit about each other and that kind of thing. I know that in terms of our mini game, I think the commission's been working on this. Megan, do you want to talk about kind of what you guys would know? Boy, she shook her head fast. In terms of the mini game and how
No,
that's.
Yes. There's not been a whole lot of reach out to me, and maybe I'll send out an email reminding everyone to find someone from their department as the go-to person. I've only had a couple people reach out to me, so I'll plan on doing that sometime this week before Friday, and send out a reminder that everybody needs a department representative for their updates.
Okay. And Cindy, what's coming up in the next week or so of Huddle? I can't remember. Next week is.
Next week is the county corner along with a campus update.
Okay, so we will hear what's going on with the commission and the campus. So we are about out of time.